Well, good evening. It's about 7:45 on November the 20th, 2009, and it's a Friday night in southern Maryland. I'll be going to work tomorrow morning about 3:30 a.m., put in a day, and then come back, and I'll be off Sunday. We got the Christmas season coming up, Black Friday, all that kind of stuff, when all stores want to be in the black as far as profits. It looks like we might be able to do that, which is a good thing for us. It's strange to have to look at life that way, because before, in my former career, there was never any doubt about what my paycheck would be and the fact that there would be regular increases in it from year to year, and that I would have a pension and all that kind of stuff. But in this line of work, and in most others in this country, that is not the case, and hasn't been for some time. And so it all depends on how much money can be made selling these items and bringing more in, and getting the right area to establish a store and get clientele to come spend their money. So, that's what I'm working in now. So that's the way that stands. One of the other things I wanted to mention was on my screensaver on my computer, I have an interesting photograph that shows the Kennedy brothers, Ted, Robert Kennedy, and JFK, on JFK's wedding day. Jacqueline is next to him, facing away from the camera, talking to looks like Robert F. Kennedy's wife and JFK's sister, with very young Teddy Kennedy in the background. I don't think he was more than 18 or 19 at the time. And this is an interesting photograph, considering the fact that all three of the main Kennedy brothers are dead now. They've all passed on. Two of them assassinated. The other one died of brain cancer. One might note the almost horrible consistency in how they died. Ted Kennedy died as a result of a brain tumor. Robert F. Kennedy shot in the head, and JFK, the killing shot was a brain shot. And this is something that crossed my mind when I heard about Teddy Kennedy having brain cancer. One can develop a lot of conspiracy theories based on that. I think it has nothing to do with that. It's just a horrible consistency in the family tree, how they all die that way. Joe Kennedy Jr., Joseph Kennedy's pick for the presidency first, and then of course JFK was the one that he pushed for afterwards, because Joe Jr. was killed in World War II in a experimental aircraft laden with explosives. This is an interesting thing when you take a look at the tragedy of this family and their political power, and the fact that they paid a tremendous price for this. And sometimes it makes one wonder, if you have a quest for power, you must be willing to give up everything. Your life, your marriage, your private life, any hope for the future, because the future usually hangs in a balance when you are a person who has ascended to heights of power that are indescribable and cannot really be quantified in normal terms. We see what's happening today with Barack Obama, and then before him George Bush. Doesn't make any difference whether you like or dislike these people. The point is that they have been promoted to a height of power where they are in control of the most powerful air, land, sea, space, and cyberspace force in the history of the globe. And right now, President Obama stands on the point in which we may very well sit on complete control of the oil and natural gas resources of the world on the periphery of Eurasia, which will effectively control the globe. We already have a pretty good control, probably a fairly tight control on the internet, the global internet, and space for that matter will be is practically under our control. So now we have a president, the first African American person of color to be elected to office as a chief executive to what a government, Republican form of government, the child of Western civilization and the most powerful nation in the history of the planet. So it's not something that's lost on me, and I don't think it should be lost on anybody else. I say a lot of weird stuff, and it sounds unpatriotic. I know how it must sound to people, because I have pretty much thrown off my belief in the God of Abraham. I do not believe in the way that we expand overseas and establish the American imperium, and I understand the truth of what has happened. It is just a matter of trying to get control of the facts and be able to debate it in the open, coming out as you will, and living as a normal human being who really believes that the things of this world must be corrected. Otherwise we will all die. If there's any possibility at all to correct the wrongs, the ills, and bring people to a standard of living and a way of thinking and learning which is based on independent thought and critical thinking, this will make it impossible for dictators to rule and scam artists to rip us off of all of our cash whenever they feel like it, just based on implanting some kind of a fear germ in our brains that we react to every time it's triggered. So it's very important to me to go on with my studies and to go on with my reading and to get it out there that it's possible for anybody to do this. You don't have to be very brilliant, and believe me, I'm not brilliant. I think that one has to just continue on, just continue plugging away, and realize that whatever it is that's wrong, you can do something about it. And you have to. You must do something about it. You can't just let it rest. I have a lot of respect for people in uniform, but I also understand that when you take on that uniform and you put it on and you swear that oath, you're swearing to an awful lot of things that you may not be aware of until much later in your life, when you realize what's been done by you in the name of the country. And that is not a very pleasant thing to find out. I hope that those that are in uniform now never find it out. I hope they just hang on to the football games and stuff like that and forget about it. Don't think too deeply about what you're doing, other than the very basic stuff about your job. Use your military career to its best effect when you get out, and live your life as happy as possible. Don't bother yourself with anything else, because you're going to be very disappointed when you find out the truth. It'll be nauseating at first, irritating, and then after a period of fury and anger, you'll begin to realize that you too have to do something.